topic of availability, okay, cost being one, simply because it's not very I guess the cost per quantity ratio right now, simply because there's not many hydrogen powered cars in the market right now, so it's more expensive lah. Economies of scale, right? So has more and more hydrogen powered cars hit the market, then of course the cost will come down. But on the topic of how do you charge consumers as they fill up, because with petroleum it's liters, right? Because it's a liquid, and with electricity it's kilowatts per hour. But because hydrogen is gas, and which means you have to charge people per either by gram or by kilogram or whatever. Do you know of any hydrogen producers and how much they charge, and how will people pay for hydrogen?
Yeah, they'll pay by mass, by grams or kilograms.
Any idea? Any price in
Oh, sorry.
Actually, you can Google it right now if you. But no worries. I'll put that in a.
Yeah, you can probably pull out a chart somewhere. And it differs from location to location and country, because every country produces it a bit different.
Right.
So for renewables, it'll probably be cheaper. That's why Sarawak is into it.
So, but known brands like Shell, Petronas, and all, are they in the hydrogen game as well?
I'm not quite sure, but I think because the OEMs have some experimenting, some of them are in partnership with the OEMs for sure. They have hydrogen. I know also that Petronas is big on hydrogen. Because everyone is moving away from fossil fuel, and they have to look at alternatives, and Petronas is for sure quite clearly in their vision declaration and whatnot internally that they are pursuing hydrogen as part of the array of alternative energy sources.
So to answer the question that this video is aiming to answer, is hydrogen really the future, or do you think it will just be one of the many options that is available? What's the future of personal transportation, you think? Besides Elon Musk's entire, I mean, you can't talk about hydrogen and EV without mentioning Elon Musk, right? So Elon Musk's entire grand idea is to eventually move away from personal transportation. That's why the things like the Hyperloop and such.
But Elon Musk is also using hydrogen. In SpaceX.
Yes. But that is going back to what you said earlier, that using it in an industrial scale makes much more sense.
Yes. And usually the way how technology enters the mass market is usually it enters through industry, higher cost industry first, usually as a luxury product, and then later
like GPS and military use lah.
Correct. Military use, and it trickle down into the masses through several generations. That's how technology has actually entered the market in the population mainstay. If you look into history, it's normal. So to your original question, whether the future is hydrogen or EV, I feel that hydrogen will stay, but so will EV. I'm just not the type to choose sides, not because I don't like to choose sides, because I look at realities and I see what's what, and in my view that there is a place for hydrogen for the long term, there is a place for EV for the long term, and in reality a fuel cell electric vehicle powered by hydrogen is an EV. Both
EV
have
in this context, meaning efficient vehicle or electric vehicle?
Electric vehicle.
So understand, and so I guess we just won't see it in our lifetime, perhaps in our children's lifetime or grandchildren's lifetime, meaning mass adoption of hydrogen vehicles.
Good question. I'm not sure. We might be able to. I don't know, because it's on
provided that we live for another 40 years lah.
On the vehicle side, it's probably sooner than you think in terms of making hydrogen powered cars. I mean, I'll just give a bit of a sneak peek into what I'm doing. So I am developing with my partners from Japan. We're developing an engine that runs extremely well on hydrogen.
Interesting.
It's a 2-stroke cycle engine, and it's being used right now in a waste to energy plant, basically. Again, this bodes very well in the hydrogen value chain for transport, because in Japan they are actually taking domestic waste through pyrolysis, turning it into hydrogen, which is like 98% of the byproduct is hydrogen, and then they burn it in an engine to produce electricity. Okay, so that's that's
So this engine that I know is just a sneak peek, but this just took out the journalist in me. Like, is this engine to be used for personal mobility or industrial or
all? Both. So
are we talking supercar?
Yes, we are. In fact, we are working on a version for motorsport.
Nice.
We have already versions for aviation.
Wow.
Although we don't
of the same engine.
Same engine, principal concept.
So you're talking propeller or jet?
Propeller.
Yes.
So these are piston engines.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So the applications is all across the board. Wherever you have piston engines, we are right there to replace it with this. And by design, ours run very well on hydrogen, where I mentioned earlier that you have to protect your normal 4-stroke engine to be able to run hydrogen and lose the efficiency.
Nice.
In our engines, you don't have to actually. It doesn't. You can run at optimal, ignition timing, optimal. You can really extract the potential of hydrogen in ours.
So why are we not hearing more about this? Malaysians working on this.
You will.
In due time.
I'll probably give you a heads up.
You heard it here first.
We have been working on it for easily a year.
Nice.
We do our development in private, obviously.
Yeah.
And so we have plans. The aviation engines are already out in the market, but the aviation engines belong to our partner in Japan. We are working on based on their technology, working on automotive versions and industrial and land application versions. So that's a bit of a sneak peek of what I do, and therefore lends to one of the earlier questions about am I qualified to actually talk about all this. So just wanted to reach out.
For our readers' knowledge. Actually, whatever Azrai just mentioned, I knew about it like almost a year ago. But friends keep secrets, right? So I might be a motoring journalist and all, but more of a friend than a motoring journalist.
You can actually see sneak peeks of the photo of that engine if you go to my website.
Nice. I will insert that clip over here. So in conclusion of this video, hydrogen power may not be the final replacement for petroleum or even electric vehicles. It's not a be-all, end-all replacement. It's going to be an alternative. Petroleum might be a future luxury for hopefully 6-litre or 8-litre naturally aspirated V12 engines, which are, I predict, are just going to be available, in cars like, for example, the Gordon Murray.
Yes, high performance. I would want that to remain.
Yes, me too.
Petrol gasoline.
Yes, so I would love for that to remain, and petroleum maybe just has a luxury for such engines or for such hypercars. Let's put it that way. And then where else? EVs might be the solution for urban mobility. Yes. That's why you have people like Porsche partnering up with Shell, for example, and now they are I spoke to them a couple, I think about 2 weeks ago, and they're saying that they're building more and more charging stations across the country. But the problem with that is for it to reach even 80% charge, it's still going to take about 30 to 45 minutes, which is great for Shell, because then more people go in there, and more people so-called lepak at the stations, and that's why you see the Shell business model moving towards retail. Right?
Agree.
So you see more and more of, if you notice, the Shell stations are a lot nicer now, a lot more comfortable. They have sitting space, they have charging ports for your personal electronics, they have all of this. So the entire business model is moving towards that. Where else hydrogen, correct me if I'm wrong, may be more industrial in usage.
Yes. I think it will gain ground there first.
Okay.
It might have its place. I think it will have its place in consumer market.
Yeah.
But in very special niches.
Yeah.
Like in high performance as well.
Yeah.
I suspect.
Okay.
Like you read the news because
Yeah,
of the
there was a
noise,
hypercar, 1,000 brake horsepower from a hydrogen-powered engine, 0 to 100 2.2 seconds.
Right.
I think the only problem with acceleration is not about how hard you can accelerate, but how much the human body can handle.
Yes.
You know, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So that's the problem
with acceleration. Because we are at a point where we can do 0 to 100 in 1 second.
Yes.
Yes.
It's crazy,
right?
isn't it?
Yes, we are at that point. Technology is there, but it's just how many of us can handle that. If you read about the Porsche 919 Evo hybrid, or hybrid Evo, one of those things, and one, I can't remember which driver it was, but he mentioned that that even though they smashed the Nürburgring lap record in like 5 minutes or something, but they said they could have gone much faster. It's just that their body couldn't handle it, and these guys are Le Mans winning drivers.
Yes.
Right.
And then perhaps they feel that pushing further would take too much risk on a circuit like the Nürburgring, because you can't even lose sight or lose focus for even a tenth of a second.
But you should watch this video because it was amazing. Porsche even actually calculated the time of the day where the track temperature would be its most ideal, and Michelin created bespoke tires for optimal grip, and that is just blew me away. But yes, on that topic, high performance hydrogen cars, I think the limitation is ultimately our human body. If you put a robot in there, we could do sub 1 second as well, 0 to 100.
Now you're touching on autonomous. There's another
of course. But again, autonomous high performance cars, never know, right? Our future Formula 1 drivers might just do it from like how the military flies drones or aircrafts nowadays. They do it. They're doing strikes in places like Syria,
in the safety and the comfort of their bunker.
Exactly. So, okay, I know I said that was the last question, but now that we are parked, another question came to my mind was, how ready is our Malaysian infrastructure for hydrogen vehicles?
Ooh, that's the hot question everybody's talking about. Not even hydrogen, but even EV also. That's a hot topic.
Even EV also, we are not quite there. But then we have manufacturers, or we even have some Malaysians that are working on so-called hydrogen this thing. But if there are no resources available in terms of refilling hydrogen in Malaysia, because I don't think there's a single station in Malaysia where you can refill hydrogen, is there?
I don't think so. But that is not to say that it cannot be kitted.
Correct.
Because the source of producing hydrogen is already here.
Yes.
We in Sunway, I think there's where the hospitals buy their oxygen. I can't remember the company. It's a very famous company that produces liquid, liquid air or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So even in Klang Valley, we have companies producing it. They can produce hydrogen just as easily. It's just a will. It's
so
just
corporate and governmental will, I guess.
Exactly, as is always the case in Malaysia.
Yeah, that's true.
Be it EV or hydrogen, is just when they feel like doing it, then it'll just happen.
Anyway, on that topic, guys, was a pleasure talking to you, Azrai, about this. And if guys, we'll bring more and more such technological talks, or rather answer questions to such difficult questions, I guess. And if you like what you see here today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll bring you more. Thanks.